God says that in America we take his judgments far too casually. We say it's weather warfare. We say, are you prophesying to us of water? That's what we say. He says we minimize the things that we do, and when they're big enough, then we will casually take them and add them into the record books. Imagine, people's homes float away, people float away, their pets float away, and then they just say, biggest flooding ever, and then they add it into Wikipedia, into the record book. So God says you will not be able to ignore or overlook or explain away this one. You won't be able to tell anyone why California is in the water. You will not be able to bring up the name of a single elite who you think is capable of breaking off a piece of a continent and putting it in the sea to rest forever. That is what God is basically saying. I'm going to get your attention because you have minimized and disrespected me for too long. 50 states will now be 49 states. 50 states minus one. I'm going to rip, I'm going to tear, I'm going to excise, surgically remove one state off from among the 50 stars. And then you will have no choice but to bump up Hawaii in your estimation. Literally, he said that. Literally, he said that. So, America, once the apple of God's eye, has now grieved him. And he says he's now going to repay the sins in the same blood that America was shedding so casually. This is the human sacrifice for rituals that I spoke about in Blood to Drink. This is the having sex on your period that I spoke about in Blood to Drink. This is the mixing human meat and fatty tissue into the ground beef so that we consume it and run mad like those who sit in Washington, D.C. that I spoke about in Blood to Drink. This is the careless, never-ending river of abortion. As tax-paying citizens in this country never get the chance to become tax-paying citizens because they are cut off at the start of their life, which I also spoke about in Blood to Drink. This is the eating of human meat by the rich and powerful, casually dining on the baby's arm or leg while sitting at the 74th floor of some building that they own, that I also spoke of in the prophecy, Blood to Drink. This is the blood from the anal sex, your first time, that I spoke about in Blood to Drink. This is the altars of America that are fed through the turning cogs of human trafficking. All the missing children, and now 6 years later, tons of adults going missing. I mean, grown men that should be able to fight off one attacker are in the backs of vans on their way to become taxidermied. Taxidermied means that you are killed, and then they stuff you and they dip you in resin, and you look exactly like something that was killed in the Cape Coast in South Africa. You look like a stuffed panther, you look like a stuffed dog, and then you might end up in somebody's basement in your natural glory, preserved forever with a look of fear on your face. You don't believe me? That's your problem. I will bring calamity upon woe, upon disaster, upon distress, because of her judgments, until the land cries out, but my hand is stretched out still.